Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go, go.
This is the new MOZA FSR2 steering wheel. MOZA sent me the pre-production sample for free and I have been using it for a few weeks now. And I will give you my thoughts and review in this video. So let's talk first about the differences between the old FSR and the new FSR2. The main difference is of course the screen. It's touchscreen now and it's fully customizable in PitHouse. But it will not work with the SimHub. This is not an issue for me. Don't get me wrong, I love SimHub and I have been modding wheels for years now using SimHub, like this Transmaster Ferrari add-on. But I do like all-in-one experience. So if I have a wheel, I don't like to run any additional software to get the wheel working. That's why I welcome that the MOZA is trying to do the customization in the PitHouse. I have been using this for a few weeks, playing with the screen, and I think that the customization in the PitHouse will be enough for 90% of the users. I will show you what you can do with it later in this video. The next difference is we have additional telemetry lights, 3 on both sides. They work like any other telemetry lights. You can program them to show pit speed limiter or wheel spin, ERS, DRS, whatever you want. The rev lights are the same as on the FSR and they are customizable, so you can change the colors or when they can light up. The next thing on the front of the wheel are the 7-way funky switches. These switches on FSR looked like analog switches and they were exposed, but these ones have a distinctive click: left, right, up, down. You can rotate them and also use it as a button. So they are much better compared to the original FSR switches. The buttons are the same as on FSR, they are backlit and you can change the colors in the PitHouse. The thumb encoders are the same and the rotary encoders are the same as well. Now let's have a look at the back of the wheel. We have now 2 additional pedals. The clutch pedals and the middle pedal shifters are the same as on FSR, so these are just 2 additional pedals at the top. They work the same as the middle ones, so you can program them for shifting, and I actually end up using these top ones as my main paddle shifters. Ergonomically it makes more sense for me because I have long fingers and I don't like to shift with my middle fingers. So these are perfect for me. This really depends on your hands and your shifting style. These pedals are magnetic pedals with Hall effect sensors as on the original FSR, and the clutch pedals are spring based as before. Now they are a little bit loud out of the box, as we know with all the MOZA magnetic paddle shifters, and they usually include the rubber dampers in the box, but because this is the pre-production sample, I didn't have any in the box. Luckily I have a lot of them in my drawers, so I already put some rubber dampers on my top pedals and also on the middle ones. Now they feel much better, they are quieter, and they are maybe the best paddle shifters I have ever used so far. Now the construction of the wheel is the same as the FSR. We have a carbon plate at the front and aluminum casing at the back. The grips are also the same as on FSR. They are perforated microfiber leather, amazing to touch. I'm using gloves when racing, but these grips are also perfect if you are not using gloves. The wheel feels really high quality. When you hold it in your hands, it doesn't feel like a toy. This feels like a real F1 steering wheel with the screen. And the last thing, of course, you can use the FSR2 also with other wheelbases. You don't have to use the MOZA wheelbase, because you can connect this steering wheel with the MOZA Universal Hub directly to your PC, and you can use it on any wheelbase you want. So now let's jump to the pit house and I will show you what you can do with the screen and this new FSR2 steering wheel. On the home screen you can adjust the maximum steering angle or recenter the wheel, and you can also test the buttons and paddle shifters. Now let's go to the steering wheel tab. Here you can set the clutch pedals as on FSR. You can set the bite point or have the clutch as the buttons. You can also change the function of the rotary switches as a knob, so now it works like left and right. But if you change it to the button, it will register the position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have it on the knob because I don't have time to look in which position the rotary encoder is, so I have it on plus or minus. You can also adjust the brightness of the buttons, brightness of the LED lights, brightness of the RMP LED lights, or brightness of the telemetry LED. Now let's go to the RPM LED. This is the same as on the old FSR, so you can customize your shift lights, but we have the new telemetry LEDs screen. Here you can see that you can enable or disable some telemetry. You cannot customize it fully, but I think here is everything you need, like yellow flag, blue flag, speed limiter. You can enable it or disable it, and you can also change the colors. So now let's go to the dashboard setting. We have some default dashboards here that was made by MOZA. We have Formula Racing version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, and GT version 4. I do like this screen, also this one, because you can see the inputs from the throttle and the brake, but you can customize this screen or you can make completely new one. To make a new one, you just click new, or if you want to customize screen, for example this one, we can go here and click edit dashboard. And here we have the screen. For each screen you can have different versions. So we have screen 1, screen 2. You can change the versions by swiping left, and by swiping up down you are changing between the screens. If you want to change something, you can, for example, click on this element, and you can see here all the options you have. You can change the name, or you can also change the function. If you click on the numbers, here you can see the text and the function is orange, so you can click on it, and here you have telemetry for that number. You can pick from many options here, so you can really build your own screen like in SimHub. So as I said, I think this is more than enough for 90% of users. You can also change the brightness of the screen, and it can get pretty bright. I have it on 20%, so it's not shining too much. And the only bad thing I can say about this wheel that I would change is the brightness of the rev lights. For my taste, they are not bright enough. So when I'm racing, I have it on full brightness, but they are not bright enough for me. I would love to have more brightness. Maybe this can be changed by firmware later, and this is the only negative I can say about this wheel. And so far everything was perfect, and it's my main wheel now. I love it, and if you want to buy one, you can use my link in the video description to support the channel if you want, for no additional cost to you. So I hope you like this video, and I will see you in the next one.